A furious mob surrounds the United States Embassy in Venezuela, burning American flags, swinging bats, and hurling rocks while shouting, "Go home." Some torch cars belonging to Americans. On TV, President Nicholas delivers a fiery speech. "We won't let our nation be bullied by imperialist powers." Despite a corrupt government and inept leaders, Venezuela's poor and working class believe the United States' presence brings massacres, violates sovereignty, and insults their dignity. United, they rise up in protest. Citing political turmoil in the United States, Nicholas severs diplomatic ties, ordering all American diplomats out within 72 hours. The movie, inspired by real events, blends fact and fiction in its gripping plot. Still, the United States finds a way back in. Suspecting Venezuela is hiding weapons of mass destruction, Congress sends Senator Jamie to investigate a move that sparks tensions between the two nations. Ryan, a congressional aide handling Venezuela affairs, pores over intelligence and suspects Russia is supplying ballistic missiles or chemical weapons, stashed in a jungle near the capital, Caracas. He pushes for a covert probe, but the Speaker of the House shuts him down, insisting he and Jamie fly to Venezuela to confront President Nicholas directly about what he's buying from Russia. Ryan and Jamie land in Caracas. Guided by diplomat Lisa, they head to the presidential palace. Cutting to the chase, they show satellite images, demanding to know what the military's hauling into the jungle. Nicholas brushes off their accusations. Jamie doesn't hold back. "I need you to understand where the United States stands. If you're secretly buying Russian weapons, the consequences will be severe." Nicholas fires back, "Mind your own house." He kicks them out, tossing in a jab, "Don't think you can do whatever you want here just because your family's around." Jamie's convinced Nicholas's attitude proves he's hiding something. They can't let it slide. Meanwhile, a mystery man meets a lawyer to plan an assassination. Time, place, target all laid out. The hitman just needs one trustworthy insider on the security team. The lawyer, Monica, smirks. Building trust in Venezuela takes years, buying it takes seconds. That night, Jamie takes Ryan out to unwind. As they're about to leave a bar, someone calls them back. It's James, a CIA operative who worked undercover in Russia. Why's he here? Turns out, he's chasing the same lead as Ryan, a Venezuelan ship hauling weapons. Not long ago, that ship carried an unregistered satellite now operating in Venezuela. James wants to know who owns it and what it's for. Is it tied to the secret weapons they're both tracking? Back at the hotel, Ryan skips his room and heads to a cafe to meet a woman he'd flirted with at the bar. Business aside, they get to the point fast. Before leaving, she slips a listening device into his room. Ryan, clueless, crashes hard, dead to the world. What's her game? The next morning, a United States Embassy convoy rolls through Caracas, escorted by 2 police motorcycles. But when the bikes up front peel off, Captain Pelevin orders the driver to take a different route. They don't get far before the convoy's blocked in the middle of the street. Masked gunmen open fire on the United States Embassy convoy. Bodyguards return shots, dropping one attacker, but a timed bomb under the vehicle explodes. Lucky for Ryan, Jamie, and Lisa, they're in the lead car and survive. Though all 3 black out, Pelevin glances back and orders the driver to peel out. Ryan comes to, grasping the danger. He checks Jamie and Lisa both have minor cuts. The driver's out cold. Another guard rushes to pull the driver free but takes a bullet through the skull. Everyone's on edge. The threats still live. A sniper's holed up in a nearby building. Ryan slides into the driver's seat and floors it. The sniper grabs his rifle and gives chase. Ryan swerves to back out, but as they clear the alley, another vehicle slams into them. The car dies. With no choice, they bail and run. Ryan helps Lisa down the street. Jamie trails behind, then a shot rings out, hitting him. A second bullet finishes him off. The sniper aims to wipe them all out, but police sirens force him to bolt. Ryan's gutted. Jamie wasn't just a colleague, he was the guy who pulled Ryan through his darkest days after Afghanistan. Now, Jamie came to Venezuela with him and won't make it home. Back at his place, Pelevin hears his dog barking like crazy. He lets it loose and follows it to a room, where he finds his family slaughtered. Rage consumes him. The dog darts to another room, sniffing out the killer still lurking to tie up loose ends. Pelevin charges, but the assassin overpowers him. As the killer grabs a gun to finish it, the dog leaps, clamping onto his arm. Pelevin scrambles free, but the bastard stabs the dog dead. Desperate, Pelevin runs to the United States Embassy for help. He confesses he was bribed to steer the convoy into the ambush but swears he knew nothing about Jamie's hit. Ryan's gut screams Nicholas is behind it, but there's no proof. He refuses to fly back to the States, vowing to uncover the truth and expose Nicholas's weapons scheme. Good thing James is still around. They team up. Ryan zeroes in on the ship smuggling goods from Russia to Venezuela. He drives to the docks, swipes a cap and jacket when no one's looking, and sneaks aboard. Before he can dig up anything, a guy named Yost corners him, nearly blowing his cover. Right then, Harriet, the woman from the bar, shows up, smooth-talking Yost to back off. She reveals she's a private investigator, hired to find a missing weapons supplier, likely locked up by the Venezuelan government. Their goals align: take down Nicholas. They agree to share intel. To prove she's legit, Harriet hands Ryan a recorder. It's got the vice president trashing Nicholas, hinting he's hiding something big from the Americans. That seals it for Ryan. Nicholas orchestrated Jamie's murder. They plan to use the tape to sow chaos in Venezuela's government. Ryan slips it to Mateo, Nicholas's bodyguard, telling him to warn his boss to watch his inner circle. In a Venezuelan prison, two scapegoats are forced to confess to the embassy attack. Nicholas summons the United States delegation to the presidential palace, presenting his findings. Nicholas offers fake condolences for Jamie. Ryan locks eyes with him. "I know you're a killer." Stepping out, Ryan grabs Mateo's hand and spots a wound. He flashes back to Pelevin's story. His dog bit the killer's hand, saving him. Is Mateo the assassin cleaning up loose ends? Ryan calls the CIA's station chief in Venezuela to double-check Pelevin's statement, only to learn Pelevin's been shanked in his cell. Ryan notices water pooling on the floor. He steps into the bathroom, bending to shut off the faucet when someone grabs him, shoving his head underwater. Ryan thrashes, breaks free, and slugs the attacker down. Before he can bolt, the guy yanks a plastic bag over Ryan's head, choking him. Ryan pulls a knife and stabs the guy's thigh. He jams the blade into the attacker's eye. That buys him enough time to escape, but the bastard slips away. The police captain's description paints a picture: Max, ex-German intelligence, now a pro hitman. Harriet comes clean. She lied to Ryan. She's a German agent, here to hunt Max and drag him home. Ryan's done with her games. Finding who hired Max is what matters now. Off Venezuela's coast, a boat drops from a plane. 4 mercenaries parachute down. The CIA's digging into claims Venezuela's hiding weapons of mass destruction. To the United States, any rogue nation messing with weapons of mass destruction is a threat, especially one just a 30-minute missile shot away. James and Ryan link up with the mercs, trekking deep into the jungle to scout a suspected weapons stash. James lays it out: gather intel, watch, report, nothing more. This is a covert op, in and out, no noise, but getting tangled in this mess means getting out clean is a pipe dream. Night falls. They reach the edge of the secret base. The team leader says their radios got trashed on landing, no comms. Each gets a laser pointer to signal if they split up. The leader leaves Xander to guard the boat, their only way out. The 5 slip into the base. While Venezuelan soldiers aren't looking, they creep to the containers. Ryan scans for radiation, nothing. Whatever's in there is weird, purpose unclear. The leader spots movement and hisses for them to move out. There's another container. "We're done." Ryan won't quit. Grabbing bolt cutters, he darts to a random container, snaps the lock, and ducks inside. The crates are marked ammonium nitrate. He pries one open, recording video. A noise stops him cold. A guard, Yost, the guy from the ship, recognizes Ryan. No hiding now. Yost decks him. Before it's over, the team leader storms in, gun raised. "Drop it." They tie Yost up. Ryan demands to know what Nicholas is hiding, but Yost stays silent. The leader wants to cap him and bounce. Ryan objects. He's unarmed. "We don't do that." James, fed up, grabs pliers, snaps Yost's finger, and growls for answers. "F*** you." James tosses the broken finger to Ryan. "Want his name? Run DNA." They truss Yost up, leave him, and book it. Meanwhile, Xander hears rustling enemy closing in. He grabs his gun and melts into the bushes. Venezuelan troops find Yost tied up, cut him loose, and chase Ryan's team to the river. Bullets fly. Ryan's group barely escapes. The leader leaps onto the boat, yelling, "Xander, go." No response. They have to pull out without him. Hiding in the brush, Xander watches the boat vanish, unable to call out, dodging patrols. The leader plans to drop Ryan off and double back for Xander. But this raid, zero proof Venezuela's got weapons. Back at the United States Embassy, Ryan pins every scrap of intel on a board. The embassy phone rings. CIA agent Mike picks up brass at the White House is ripping into the CIA director for stirring chaos in Venezuela. President Nicholas just announced he's cutting diplomatic ties with the United States. Ryan's got a breakthrough. the weird gear at the secret base, not weapons drilling equipment. Venezuela's hiding mining ops in the jungle, digging up their own resources isn't illegal, but hiring foreign mercenaries raises red flags. DNA results on Yost come back. He's an international arms smuggler, wanted globally. The logo Ryan spotted at the base belongs to Apurs, a London-based mercenary outfit supplying muscle to war zones worldwide. Most damning, the ammonium nitrate in the containers is used for mining explosives and matches the stuff that blew up Jamie's convoy. Ryan's sure Apurs is tied to Jamie's murder. He's still short on proof linking Nicholas to Apurs. Mike orders him back to the States tomorrow, but Ryan's not the type to roll over. He dials Congressman Chapin for a lifeline. Knowing Ryan nearly died on this gig, Chapin pulls strings to keep him in play. Meanwhile, James digs into that unregistered satellite, suspecting a tie to Venezuela's mining game. He uncovers dirt on mineral deposits and Sergio, the justice minister who vanished a year ago. Mike suggests talking to Sergio's wife, Gloria, who's running for president against Nicholas, swearing to topple Nicholas's corrupt regime. Gloria's rallying crowds and winning hearts. James, posing as a United States official, meets Gloria. She's caught off guard. "I think we can help each other." Gloria doesn't mince words. Historically, the United States has meddled in Latin American elections. James steers to her husband. He learns Sergio visited that jungle before disappearing. James suspects a connection to Jamie's killing and Nicholas as the puppet master. Pledging United States government backing, James vows to uncover the truth about Sergio. Gloria trusts him, pulling a rock from her safe. Sergio's last project. It's tantalite, loaded with tantalum, a must-have for circuit boards, GPS, jet engines. James reports to Mike. Ryan digs deeper, finding Vogler, a company using that mystery satellite to scan for tantalite deposits right in Venezuela's jungle. If tapped, this mine could rival China's tantalum market, worth trillions. No wonder Nicholas is desperate to keep the United States in the dark. The next day, Gloria calls James. Panicked she's being threatened, James sends CIA security chief Marzin to train her bodyguards, locking down her safety for the campaign. Gloria's popularity surges. She's got a real shot at the presidency. With CIA protection, her security's airtight. At a London immigration checkpoint, a woman steps up. She removes her sunglasses, startling the officer, but he waves her through. She smiles politely. In private, she peels off a wig, fake lashes, and an eye bandage. Real blood underneath. It's Max, the hitman who killed Senator Jamie in Venezuela. Now, he's tailing Ryan to London for another kill. As a pro, as long as he's breathing, the job's not done. Meanwhile, Ryan's in London hunting proof that President Nicholas hired assassins. Checking into his hotel, he freezes Harriet's waiting. She warns him Max is here, urging him to split before he's dead. Ryan's not budging. He's seeing this through. Unable to sway him, Harriet tags along, calling an MI5 contact to dig into Apurs, the mercenary outfit. Her guy, Jeremy, confirms Apurs is MI5's headache. Arms smuggling, illegal training, turf wars, you name it. With Jeremy's help, Ryan scores a meeting with Thorne, Apurs' chairman. Cutting to the chase, Ryan asks if Apurs supplied mercs to Nicholas to guard his mines. Thorne plays dumb. No politics, just cash. They serve whoever pays. Ryan slaps Max's sketch on the table. Thorne admits working with him but claims he's just a broker. Details aren't his thing. Max's client, a shell company, New Copamas. Thorne sets a meet with Max tomorrow at a restaurant, spinning a yarn about a new client. Next day, MI5 stakes out the restaurant, ready to grab Max. But it's a decoy. A bullet rips through Thorne's skull, taking Ryan's answers with him. Max, smelling the trap, was watching from a nearby apartment. Ryan traces the shot's angle, spots him, and gives chase across rooftops. Max leaps into the Thames, gone. Back at the restaurant, MI5 demands Ryan's weapon. Harriet's escorted out, leaving British cops to take over. No way Ryan's quitting. He swipes Thorne's house keys and breaks in. Finding it empty, he rummages, snagging a gun from a drawer, just what he needs. Thorne's computer is locked. Ryan calls a CIA hacker, cracking the password mid-chat. Jackpot, tons of dirt inside. Ryan loops in James. Bank records show New Copamas wired Max a fat sum right before the convoy bombing, handled by a lawyer, Monica. James starts tracking her. Ryan keeps hunting Max. Harriet, knowing Max's weak spot, can't cover for him anymore. He helped her once, but now he's a remorseless killer. She takes Ryan to the Royal Academy, where Max's daughter, Anna, studies. Ryan lays out the stakes, convincing Anna to help. They call Max, threatening him to show. That night, they meet at the school. Ryan demands to know if Nicholas hired him. Max, stone cold pro, stays mum. He doesn't even know who Monica's fronting for. His mission's all that matters. Then Harriet moves. She loved him, so she ends him the hardest way. Ryan heads back to Caracas but can't hit the embassy. He snuck to London behind Mike's back. James digs up Monica's file. New Copamas's lawyer. She secures licenses, launders cash, and runs dirty deals. They hit her office, but after a wait, local cops storm in. Monica's watching from a screen somewhere. It's Nicholas's setup. Ryan and James are hauled to a horse riding club. Nicholas, cool as ice, brings up Jamie's murder in front of them, claiming the killer's caught, case closed. Ryan's not buying it. He grabs Nicholas by the throat, figuratively demanding proof. Got the guts to show evidence, or face the consequences? Nicholas smirks. Revenge comes fast. The United States Embassy's under siege. A mob swarms the gates, burning American flags, torching embassy cars, chucking rocks, and screaming, "It's chaos, uncontainable." On TV, Nicholas declares he's severing ties with the United States, giving diplomats 72 hours to clear out. He flashes a photo of James shaking Gloria's hand, accusing the United States of rigging Venezuela's election. Deep in the jungle, Xander the merc left behind stumbles on a labor camp. Prisoners toil under armed guards, spotting guard dogs. He bolts. Meanwhile, 3 United States mercs hunting for him get ambushed. Nicholas gave Mateo access to a high-tech satellite, tracking the Americans to the forest for a kill order. Hearing gunfire, Xander creeps closer. From behind, he spots Mateo on a ridge, scoping the scene with binoculars. Xander clocks him, sending Mateo tumbling down the slope. The 3 mercs seize the chance to run. Xander keeps hammering the enemy, linking up with the trio, but Venezuelan troops flood in. The team leader orders the others to take a crate to the boat and get it to James. While he draws fire, he knows it's a one-way trip. Shots echo. Xander, defying orders, doubles back to help. Too late. The leader's down. A dead United States merc in the jungle. Ironclad proof America's sneaking around. The United States has no defense. All United States diplomats are expelled. The embassy lowers its flag. Staff scrambled to flee. James urges Mike, "We're close to the truth. We can't quit." Mike thinks it over, then stays to chase answers. They hit the embassy's basement, a stash of weapons and a safe stuffed with cash. Loaded up, they head to the garage. Marzin's waiting, tossing Mike a police uniform and pointing to 2 cop cars. Plan B. Mike dresses as a cop, packing heat and money. James climbs into Marzin's ride, his heart condition flaring. Ryan tells Marzin to get James on a plane with the others. No risks. Ryan ducks into Mike's car. They slip out a back exit, dodging the mob and local cops. But James glances back and spots Mateo. Marzin sold them out. At a Caracas safe house, Lisa calls. James never made it. Mike senses trouble, grabs gear and cash, but the car won't start. Ryan checks under the hood as headlights close in. Ambush. They dive for cover, trading shots. Ryan fires a rocket, blowing the enemy's ride to hell. They peel out in their bullet-riddled wreck. Next morning, Mike storms Marzin's place, squeezing him hard. Marzin spills. He killed Pelevin in jail, snitched on the United States mercs in the forest, handed James to the camp, and gave up the CIA safe house. Ryan argues to keep Marzin alive. Killing him risks exposure. Mike's done with traitors. Mike plans to regroup with the mercs, cross into Colombia for backup, then hit the camp to save James. Ryan drops a bomb. James's heart condition means he's on borrowed time. They've got to move now. 5 guys against dozens. Ryan grins.
You know how much money we have?
In the camp, James endures brutal torture. Mateo beats him bloody, locks him in a cell. He learns the prisoners slaving away at various jobs all opposed Nicholas. James mentions the election, how Gloria, the ex-justice minister's wife, could win. A frail, white-haired man stands, trembling. It's Sergio alive. Ryan, Mike, and the 3 mercs head into the jungle. Ryan tells Mike to hang back. If they all die, someone's gotta tell DC. 4 charge in. Yost, mid-shave, spots them.
What the hell? Search him!
Ryan's cool, flashing a stack of bills. He hires Yost to spring James from a camp 15 clicks away. Yost sneers, remembering James snapping his finger. Ryan cuts in. Focus on the money. Deal's done. Cash for action. In Caracas, the night before the election results, Nicholas delivers a fiery speech to a packed plaza. Later, he dines with his vice president. Tensions thick. Nicholas knows the vice president's planning to defect to the United States, backed by the CIA. Breaking news hits: Venezuela's satellite system's been hijacked, likely by Americans. Panicked, Nicholas fears the United States will uncover his jungle secret. He orders the execution of 41 prisoners in the labor camp to silence them. Ryan's team sneaks into the camp, a covert prison for government dissidents. Mid-plan, gunfire erupts. They charge in, finding Nicholas's men slaughtering prisoners. Ryan leads the counterattack, dropping the executioners, saving who's left. Desperate, he hunts for James. In despair, Sergio reveals James was moved 30 minutes ago to a dungeon under the presidential palace. In the dank cell, James clings to a sliver of light, praying. Upstairs, Nicholas slits the throat of his traitorous vice president. The election's in overdrive. Despite some loyalists, Nicholas faces a fracturing regime and United States pressure. He'll do anything to stay president. By morning, Ryan's team frees some prisoners, but others weren't so lucky, massacred brutally. Ryan films the carnage. Xander finds the team leader's body. For Merck's death's just another day. The election's heating up. Venezuelan media blasts United States interference, swaying voters against Gloria. Fearing defeat, she heads to the polls. At the camp, Ryan captures damning evidence, uploads it online. Soon, Mike arrives by chopper with good news. Vogler's tied to 2 Black Ops firms, one run by Monica under Nicholas's orders, the other, North Lake Union, based in Philadelphia. Ryan recalls Thorne's laptop from a PUR's 6 calls to a Philadelphia number. They've got Nicholas cornered, but Ryan wants the last conspirator. He calls Harriet in London for Thorne's phone, now with MI5. She promises to get it in 2 days. Mike secures a map of the presidential palace. With ties cut, they're going in to grab James. Mike barks. Nicholas reels from a bombshell. The United States exposed the camp, and global media's eating it up. Furious, he shuts down voting, sending troops to seal ballot boxes. Gloria's helpless as soldiers fired to scatter crowds, crushing resistance. Inside the palace, elites party with fine wine, gourmet food, and live music. Outside, protesters clash with guards, who fired tear gas to hold them back. United States choppers hover above the palace. Mike's orders: grab James, get out. In the dungeon, James plays dead, luring a guard, then takes him down. Choppers land on the roof. Venezuelan troops rushing up get mowed down. Anyone in the way's a goner. James, armed with a stolen rifle, breaks free. Mateo leads a sweep, takes a bullet, and ends up caged. The palace lobby's a war zone. United States forces overwhelm, cutting through unprepared guards. James links with Ryan, and they sprint to the roof for extraction. Passing Nicholas's office, Ryan can't resist. He storms in. Nicholas stares at the raging mob outside. Gunfire echoes in the halls. Ryan empties his clip, tosses a grenade. Facing Nicholas, he holds back from killing but spits.
That's what your country thinks of you now.
As Ryan teeters on vengeance, Mike yanks him back. Killing Nicholas means consequences. The mob breaches the gates, trashing the palace. Nicholas resigns. Gloria wins the election. Sergio's freed, reuniting with his family. Back in the States, Ryan visits Congressman Chapin. After pleasantries, Ryan pulls out Thorne's phone. The day he hit London, Chapin called Thorne. No direct link to North Lake Union, but Chapin's call log spills the truth. He was the mastermind, colluding with Nicholas to block the United States Tantalum probe and ordered Jamie's hit. Here's the full summary of Season 2 of Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. Would you like us to continue with more seasons? If so, please leave a comment below to let us know. If there's enough interest, we'll definitely keep going. Thank you all for following along. Goodbye and see you next time.